So much changing in the world of digital marketing, including AI and Google and ChatGPT and so many other platforms that I thought it'd be appropriate just to put together a news section of all the bits and pieces we've been able to cobble together so that we're keeping up to date with what's actually going on and what it means for self-storage operators. So I'm going to kick off and chat through a really interesting piece, which is that Meta platforms are now going to be indexed by Google. So this is the first time that Meta is going to be indexed on Google search. If you've logged into your Instagram, you may well have seen a screenshot, something like this, that says from the 10th of July, search engines will automatically be allowed to show photos and video results on the Google search engine pages. Now that does mean some significant changes to how we're looking at SEO. Social and SEO are no longer separate items, and we can start ranking for videos and images. Google has said that they will pick and choose what images show. For us, it's important that your profile is made public and then well looked after, so it might be time to dust off that Instagram strategy. Some questions that you think you should probably look to answer are things like how to use a self-storage facility, how to pack, how to choose a storage unit size, elements like that, and actually create the video content that would match with it for them to be indexed. The next piece is a really good article on Semaphore. It was Google's head of search, Liz Reed, and she's been asked a few questions about AI overviews, and I think just a couple really important takeaways, although we'll include all the links to these in the section down below. She mentioned that Google Ads are definitely coming to AI mode as well as AI overviews. Now those are two separate elements. AI overviews is something you might typically see right at the top of the search results when you Google maybe self-storage near me or what is the cheapest self-storage near me. The ads will be coming in that section. And then she also mentions, which I think was really interesting, was that these ads are going to be tailored, not certainly just the ads, but the results are going to be tailored to the individual. And my guess is that this is maybe Google's differentiator from your typical LLM searches, where for the first time they're losing traffic to ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Grok, Perplexity, and so on for searches. And now they're going to tailor these for the details and demographics that they already have of the typical user so that their results become more relevant and hence the platform that is more used. Great article, good read, well worth it. The next part of Google News is that they face an antitrust complaint, and that is from a group called the Independent Publishers Alliance in the UK. Now, what they're alleging is that Google's misusing content because publishers don't have the option to opt out of being indexed or having this information used in AI overviews. And if they do try and opt out, then they're actually also removed from the regular search listings. So they're saying that's kind of a misuse of web content. Google's obviously responded saying, hey, the new AI search modes create an opportunity for more impressions, more visibility for this type of content. We already know that they have and has been for a number of years an effort to move Google to a zero-click search impression. Essentially what that means is they can give you the answer right there on the platform. It is easier for the users, and certainly personally, if I can get that without multiple clicks, that is more useful for me, and that's the platform I would choose. But it does mean that less traffic may come to our websites. What does this mean for the future? Well, if successful, it does mean that how AI overviews and AI mode is launched to users globally would be impacted. And we already know AI mode has been rolled out in the US and it's on its way to the rest of the world. Speaking of AI modes, there's this really good article on the Search Engine Journal, and specifically talking about the new AI mode search functionality. And it's found in this particular study that there's a 91% URL change across repeated searches. What does that mean? Essentially using the exact same search term, they did it 3 times a day. They found that the URLs referenced in the AI mode's answers were different 91% of the time. Now, there is a link down the bottom of this article to the full research paper that was performed here. I do think for self-storage, we might be a little bit more resilient for these type of results, and I think the overlap rate would be much higher, and that is because our stores are well established, they're localized, so it's not typically buying a product like a pair of shoes, and that could change quite drastically, where if you're searching for something which is in Oxford in the UK, typically the same stores are going to show because they haven't moved. So I think we might be a bit more robust in that way. It is something we saw with AI overviews, where the results were drastically different and repeated, and they were drastically different to the organic results. But that changed over time as Google adapted and updated their algorithms, and I believe we'll see the same for AI mode coming out. Speaking of a couple of announcements, obviously Google has their AI updates that they send out on a regular basis. One of the things that they mentioned, amongst others, which I think is probably the only thing I could highlight here, was the introduction of a voice search in AI mode. So essentially a conversational type tool that we can use in AI mode, that you can chat on certainly your laptop, but on your mobile device. And why that's important for us is potentially that keyword that we were looking for is maybe a dead element to be searching for, and we should now be looking for something which is phrases or how you would speak it generally. And hopefully that is something that we'll be implementing into our SEO strategies and trying to rank for those phrases instead of keywords. Along with those AI updates, there is a June 2025 core update. It's a little bit of a fallacy to call it June. It was actually launched on the 30th of June. It is going to take about 3 weeks to roll out. Now, that is a little bit longer than they typically update these core updates, and you probably find a quarterly core update. So this is not unusual, but 3 weeks is larger than the typical 2 weeks. So it does suggest a little bit of a more intense or more technical update. It's important I think, for us to note that this is also aligned with the announcements of the increase on AI mode, as well as the announcement that Google Ads will be showing within AI modes and the AI overviews. We think this is linked to the AI Max for search. And so if I jump on to specifically the AI Max for search campaigns, so firstly, what is this? It's not a new campaign in Google Ads. It is a campaign setting. And essentially what it does will be expanding the keywords that you can use by using AI to understand what other search terms you might have missed and adding those keywords in. It will also be able to add in text customization, which was actually formerly known as automatically created assets. Essentially what that is doing is creating ads based on what it believes would convert better, and being able to update the final URL, the landing page that your ads go to on your site. We have a great Google contact and a good relationship through our Google partner status. Our advice at this stage is not to trial this just yet. There are a few teething elements. So if your paid team is looking at launching something like this, our suggestion is just to hold off until those are ironed out, and hopefully we'll keep you updated on those. And I know that's quite a lot of Google and Google heavy, so let's jump into a little bit of ChatGPT news. Some interesting developments, which is in your settings and connectors. Now, if you're able to go through that and you found it, you can actually connect your SharePoint, Outlook, Teams, Dropbox, Canva, and a whole host of other platforms, which does sound incredibly exciting, and I believe it is, but it should also be a little bit scary in the fact that we're not sure if employees who have their own login details or credentials would be able to add your company data into these chat engines and potentially have your data trained on, or even worse, be publicly available in some way. So writing up sort of a process and procedure on how LLMs and AI is used within your organization could be something to look at quite urgently. And then lastly, it's always great to try something new. So we found this little presentation tool called Napkin.ai, which you can go and try yourself. I dropped a couple of my notes in to what we were chatting about today, and essentially you can just translate from text. You can see it doesn't take too long, and it creates a couple of different variations of images that you can use directly within a presentation. Usually you would just then copy that image out into your presentation and use it there. And I mean, it's not absolutely brilliant, but it certainly looks a lot nicer than what I would have come up with. And you can choose your style and then pop it into your PowerPoint presentation. Something to try out. I really hope that helped. And again, we'll put all the links to these articles down below. And please drop us your comments on your thoughts. Looking forward to chat soon.